Hi, my name is Dan Funk, and I am the CEO of SpiffWorks. Over the next few minutes, I will give you an overview of our platform and explain how you can use it to improve your business performance. SpiffWorks reduces cost to your organization as you navigate change. We blend visualization and automation together to streamline your business processes. Business processes involve both people, software, and AI. We reduce waste and boost productivity by directly connecting your mission to the people and systems that make that mission possible. On our website, spiff.works, you can schedule a meeting with me, and we can talk specifically about your current business challenges and discuss ways SpiffWorks can help you. So, SpiffWorks. We help teams thrive in fast-paced environments. You are the brains, and we are the reflexes that allow you to outperform the competition. So what is a business process? I think it is anything that you can describe in a flowchart. Here are real-world examples. These UVA, GSA, Emerson, Avent, they're all using SpiffWorks to solve these problems right now. Some other examples of people that we've talked to here recently are HR, employee onboarding. You need to create accounts, complete training and orientation classes, sign benefits forms. That makes a great workflow. Manufacturing, doing quality checks on your equipment, great workflow. Education, like a thesis proposal. Like what is the approval process to get that through and submitted? Great workflow. So what does SpiffWorkflow do? What does SpiffWorks do? Think of a conductor in front of an orchestra. He doesn't do all the work, but he signals transitions and makes the higher level timing decisions that keep many expert players working fluidly together. It is a coordinated effort, which we tend to find very beautiful. Whether that is music or dance or the swift practice steps of competent shipmates on a sailboat. SpiffWorks' job as a conductor of business processes is managed through 4 repeating steps. You define, connect, execute, and measure. We'll take each of these steps in turn to demonstrate a real-world example I use every day. It's the process I follow when somebody visits our website and reaches out through one of our forms. So step 1 is define your business process and do it in a way that drives consensus, being easy to read and understand by all key stakeholders and decision makers. We do this with a notation called BPMN. BPMN is a mouthful, a business process model and notation. The first thing I want you to notice here is that you already understand this diagram. You know, I've kind of seeded it. You know that this is like for what happens when a form gets submitted on the website. But I think you can follow these steps and sort of understand what happens and what that process is. This is critical, right? This means that from HR to finance, from sales to marketing, you've got one common language that everybody can understand. BPMN is heavily researched, long evolving standards with roots that go back decades. It is deep and complex, much like a programming language, but unlike a programming language, instantly accessible. Let's look briefly at the major components: events, tasks, gateways, and lanes. Events. Events are the circles. They mark moments of change. The start and end are always there, but you can have timers go off or external messages, interruptions, exceptions. All of these are handled by BPMN. Tasks are rectangles. Like events, they have many types. And there are a lot of types, but the most common ones are shown here. User tasks for collecting information, confirmation from humans, service tasks for talking to other software or AI, business tasks to reference spreadsheets, contain business rules. There are also sub-processes, ways to embed one diagram inside of another, so you can reuse common processes, but also hide the complexity when it's not useful to you. Gateways are the diamonds. They allow you to change course in a workflow. There's many types of gateways as well. Some will allow you to take one path. Others might allow you to take multiple paths at the same time, depending on certain conditions. And lanes. Lanes allow you to assign user tasks to specific individuals or groups of people within your organization. A single diagram can have many lanes. There's a great deal to this standard, but this gives you a high-level understanding of the major pieces and how they work together. Just knowing this, what I've gone over just now, is enough to define the business process that I'm talking about today, and many other business processes like it. All right, we're finally on to step 2. So once you've defined it, once you've described a business process, you need to connect it to the people and the software within your company. And it's important to note that unlike most automation and low-code platforms out there, SpiffWorks adapts to you and your business where it is today. Connections go both ways. So in the next few slides, we're going to talk about ingoing and outgoing connections to both people and other software systems. Connecting with people, so getting information from people. We gather information from humans using web forms, just like the rest of the internet. We define forms in a somewhat technical way using something called JSON schemas. This takes a little time to learn, but they're far more powerful and adaptable. Through this form builder, you can do autocompletes and type aheads. You can dynamically generate drop-down lists, show and hide sections based on previous selections, repeat sections. Think about like a to-do list and just adding infinite number of items. You can do complex validations. Many of the tool choices you'll notice we make are slightly technical. A steeper learning curve up front to save you massive headaches later on. Connecting with people and getting that information back out to people. And that can be information you collect from a person or from another software system. We use a Markdown, a common standard for creating easy to read content. We combine this with a syntax called Jinja that allows you to inject information into the Markdown to build reports and share just the right information at just the right time. SpiffWorks uses BPMN messages to accept information from other systems. So this is how we connect with software and get information from other software systems. You just create a start event or any message event anywhere inside the process and give it a name, such as connect in this example, and attach it to your diagram with a message event. It creates a new API endpoint that can then be called from any other software application to send data into this process. Messages can be simple, just as they're described here, but they're designed to support hundreds of thousands of identical processes all running at the same time. SpiffWorks acts as a kind of mailroom that assures that all your messages are delivered to the correct recipients using something called correlation keys. Be happy to delve into this in more detail, and I'll provide a link at the end of this presentation to reach out to us. So software, how do you communicate out to software systems? Well, BPMN uses service tasks to do that. In this example, we're sending a message to Slack to be displayed to our Slack team, and we do that over Slack's API. We have a Slack connector, and that tells SpiffWorks that it needs to know what channel to send the message to and what message to send. While we provide a few common connectors, where we've really tried to focus is on making these connectors easy for you and your team to build, so that you can connect to any system or software application you need. More technical details are available if you want to delve into this particular area. Python. It isn't always like Legos. Not everything is going to fit together perfectly. And for this reason, you can modify information between steps using Python. We're one of the only Python-based implementations of BPMN, and it is a very powerful combination. Both BPMN and Python are easy to learn. They don't require a background in software engineering. They're both very powerful tools that can be used in diverse circumstances, and most importantly, they're highly complementary. BPMN creates a structure to the Python scripts you create in a way that makes both easier to understand and to maintain over time. DMN, so also connecting with business rules. So these aren't people, it's not software, it's just rules. It's just the things that define how your organization works. And that needs to be a part of your business processes as well. DMN is a companion standard to BPMN. It allows the creation of decision tables, where you create a set of conditions and the outcomes under those particular conditions. Here we use DMN to identify what are likely personal email addresses versus company email addresses. But some other good examples are calculating a pizza price based on the size and number of toppings, or determining which people need to approve a request based on cost. Once you've connected your software systems and people to your process, you can execute it. Early on, the executions can be lightweight, just listening for your existing software and people to notify you of those critical completion steps. Over time, your process can be used to introduce more and more of the changes and take on the role of the conductor, fluidly moving work and providing the choreography that allows your business to move rapidly and adjust quickly. So we're executing a process, you need to start it. You can start that process by browsing for it on our navigation bar and just clicking start. As we mentioned before, you can also start a process with a message start event. The CRM process that we've been describing, for instance, uses a web form on our website to start the process. We also offer ways to extend the user interface so you can start a process from the home screen. More information about this can be supplied if you're interested. You can create custom dashboards to view all the running processes and keep track of what work is assigned to you. Here's a special dashboard that we built for viewing all the time someone completed a form on our website, causing our process to run. We can see the name and use the go button to jump directly to that process right as it's going and complete the next step. The process instance page displays metadata details about the current instance, including generally useful information for any process, like when it was started, what its status is, but you can also see custom metadata specific to the process model. In this case, we can pull up the first name and last name of the person who submitted the form on our website. We also make a live view of the process diagram available, so you can exactly where the process is. This is an interactive map. It will allow a support team to debug problems and even pause the process, move it back to an earlier step, modify information, upgrade the diagram to use a later version with additional steps or bug fixes. For more information or a demo of these features, please reach out to me and schedule a call. Now we're on to measure, the last step. Delightful. So what is it to measure a process? Well, we've got an analytics dashboard, and it covers both. It covers active processes and completed processes. Here we're looking at active processes, and that'll answer questions about what is going on right at this instant, what's happening. Completed processes, so we can analyze hundreds of thousands of completed processes. What is the flow that often gets taken? What gets skipped, what doesn't? What is slow, what's fast? This helps define what our new SLAs, what our service level agreement should be. What can we promise? What can we provide? What can we do to make all this faster? And then you can look at all of your process models, all of the different solutions that you've developed. How are they performing over time? What's getting used? What's not? And once you've got that measured, these measurements and the outside world are going to suggest new changes to your business processes. Now that you have a defined process everyone understands and connected to the people in the software you depend on, you can make surgical changes to your business safely and effectively. SpiffWorks allows UVA to drastically improve the transparency of their research approval process, and the GSA to help organizations across the country navigate complex laws and regulations with speed. It's helping Emerson to make subtle changes to their ledger entry process to capture money more quickly, accurately, and efficiently. So let's look at a quick demo. I'm going to have to put my glasses on for this part. So over here, this is our SpiffWorkflow website, and we're on the Contact Us page. I filled it out with Snoop Dogg and his email address and company, which I pretty much made up. But I'm just going to click the Connect button here, and we're going to see what you always see when you fill out a Contact Us form on a website. It's going to say thank you. What's interesting is a Slack message just arrived for me. So I just got notified on my Slack over here that the contact form was submitted. I can kind of drag this into view here, and you can see the company, the first name, Snoop Dogg, the Chronic, Chief Brodus. It looks like it failed on the AI research, so AI couldn't find anything about fishizzle.com, but that's probably for the best. So move that back out of the way, and we can go and look at that process instance. So if I come over here and kind of refresh this, I'll see, oh wow, there's a new process waiting for me, and I can just click the go button, and up pops Snoop Dogg and his company, the Chronic. And I can make a decision on what I want to do. I can ask it to wait for a bit or stop iterating on this contact completely. I think I'll wait for a bit and then contact him. And how many days do I want to wait? I want to wait 2 days. And I can capture some additional notes. I can fix all of the missing information that's down here. But I think maybe more interesting might be just kind of looking at that process instance for a second. So here's that process instance view. We can see where we are in the process. I can see that we're reviewing the submission now. And based off what decision I make, this process might stop or it might save the information to the database and wait for a little bit before reminding me on Slack again that I should reach back out. And I can decide how long that wait loop is going to be right there in that user form. All of this information will end up in a Supabase database that we've got set up, and that information just gets pushed in there. That's down this sub-process that we haven't really talked about yet. But there it is. There's the whole process. So getting back to the demo presentation, thanks so much for talking and listening to me. As for what's next, you can schedule a call. There's a link on our website on spiff.works. Please just go to spiff.works. That's the website URL. You can sign up there for a free consultation. And you can also just jump right in, get a 30-day free trial. It doesn't cost you anything. We will work with you to get your system set up, get everything in place, and help you build that first workflow. And you can start solving problems tomorrow. Thank you so very much for meeting with me. I can tell you that there's many other parts of this that didn't make it into the presentation. So if you would like to talk to us about any of this stuff, please reach out. And that's it. Have a good day, everybody.